Welcome. This video will discuss and analyze a chess game that I played against the new AI chat box DeepSeek. So, without any further ado, let's jump right into it. So, a bit of background knowledge about this new chat box. DeepSeek is an AI initiative that was developed in China and was first released in November 2023. This platform is aimed to focus on efficiency and performance. Now, let's look at the game. The game starts off with me pushing the king's pawn 2 squares forward, which claims central control over the board. DeepSeek responds by mirroring the move, playing pawn e5. I develop my knight to f3, which directly attacks black's central pawn, and black defends it with their own knight to c6, a classic setup. Instead of going for a more aggressive approach like the Scotch game or the Italian game, I choose to play the Ruy Lopez, bringing the light-squared bishop to b5, pinning the knight and indirectly increasing pressure on the center. Black attempts to kick the bishop away with the immediate pawn to a6, a standard move in the Morphy defense, which challenges me to either take or retreat. I bring my bishop to a4, maintaining pressure on the queen side instead of trading, which increases my flexibility. Black now brings out the kingside knight, attacking my center and adding more tension to the position. Now, instead of launching an immediate pawn break, I go for a slower, more positional approach with a quiet pawn push to d3. My intention here is to build up pressure gradually rather than rush into an aggressive middle game. Black continues with an aggressive plan, pushing the queenside pawn to b5, expanding space and forcing my bishop to retreat once again. The light-squared bishop is played on b3, which is the only good move, but also it is staying on a strong diagonal while keeping an eye on the center. Black calmly develops the dark-squared bishop to e7, reinforcing their structure and preparing to castle. In this position here, I played pawn to a4, looking to challenge black's queenside expansion before it becomes too strong. Black refuses to back down and boldly pushes their b-pawn forward to b4, grabbing even more space but slightly weakening their control over key squares like c4 and a5. With now a strong central position, I decide to bring my king to safety by castling. Next, black does the same, castling kingside. At this point, the game could go in many different directions. I could reposition the knight or prepare a pawn break, while black might start pushing in the center. Instead, I choose an active, more aggressive approach by playing my bishop to d5, planting it in the center and increasing pressure. Black decides they don't want to deal with this piece and captures the bishop with their knight, allowing me to recapture with a pawn and attack the knight. This opens up the position and gives me better control of the center, which could later on prove fruitful in the middle and endgame. But then, DeepSeek plays a strange move. Instead of developing further, it retreats its knight back to b8. This move is passive, a general mistake, and essentially wastes a turn, which allows me to have an advantage, so I immediately take the initiative. Seeing the free pawn on e5, I grab it with my knight. This move limits black's development and puts me in a great position. Here, DeepSeek plays a very harmful mistake by playing rook to e8. This leaves its f-pawn undefended. Now, I seize the opportunity and start the attack, bringing the queen to h5. This is an aggressive move, threatening an immediate check on f7. DeepSeek reacts by pushing its pawn to g6, trying to kick the queen away, but this is a huge mistake because it leaves the king's defenses severely weakened. I don't even need to retreat the queen. Instead, I calmly shift it to f3, keeping all the attacking options alive. Black tries to shore up their position with a pawn push to d6, but now I take on the f-pawn with my queen, guarded by the knight on e5. This move forces black's king to h8, but the attack is far from over. I now bring the rook into the attack, playing it to e1, setting up for a devastating finish. This move is a brilliant one. I ignored the threat to my knight. Black plays bishop to g4, which is a devastating blunder. I play the dark-squared bishop to h6, cutting off all escaping squares for the king and completely paralyzing it in the corner. DeepSeek plays rook f8, which allows me to give a mate with the queen on g7. Instead of playing rook f8, black's best move to prevent mate was bishop f8. I could take the pawn, giving a check. The pawn takes and I capture black's rook with my own. This forces the black queen to take on my rook, otherwise mate is inevitable. The white queen captures back and the evaluation is +22 for me. The overall accuracy for DeepSeek was 73.2, and for me it was 98.1. Overall, it was a nice experience to play with this new AI model, and was significantly better than ChatGPT at chess. Although DeepSeek wasn't a good player and played at about 800 ELO, it is somewhat nice to see that AI chatboxes are improving at chess.